My homies, they be wilding. They be doing like $20, $30 bets and shit. I hopped in that joker. I was all like, yeah, I'm gonna play these $5 and see what I hit for. You know what I'm saying? I was about $50 in, practically about to just banning this shit. Like, okay, I don't see how you niggas do this. Okay, I'm $50 in. I ain't won. You know, you win like $2 or something. But I was like, man, nigga, I ain't won shit. Nothing worth talking about. So played with some shit Friday night. Nigga hit for like 400. I was all like, oh yeah, all right. Boy, about to run these $5 bets till I make it to the top, my nigga. Yo. Welcome back to another episode of The Great Deliberators. I am one of your hosts, Mr. Liberator Rozay.
It's your boy DK.
And one time for our boy O-Beam.
Stop the cap.
It's been a while.
Say your name, make your name ring. Oh man, T-minus 30 days, right? 30 days, 1 month out, right?
Possibly. He said that it might be till next year.
Dang.
I think something about they're rescinding some stuff in the FBOP.
Dang, I thought so. We ain't have a date.
We did have a date, but he said that they may be rescinding it. I don't know if it's the government or
damn
what's going on. So he.
I don't know. Wait, tell me. Wait. So I don't know the entire legalities of the shit. So how do you get a date? And then they can just switch it up on you. So I'm saying, was the date more like this is what we shooting for, or
that was supposed to be the date that he's supposed to transfer to the halfway house? But
yeah,
technically he's still under their supervision, the FBOP.
Yeah.
Wherever he goes. So I think this is more of them just trying to keep people inside the prisons. They're saying that halfway houses don't have enough like space at this time.
Damn.
Yeah, a whole bunch of bullshit.
Oh man. All right. Because now I guess we in limbo up. Okay, so is definitely May 14th off the table though?
That's what it's looking like, yeah.
Damn. Because I had to take a vacation day, so it's like I either got to pull that or leave that in there.
I will pull it.
Yeah, pull it now. All right. I can always cancel it at the last minute. I ain't got to take it, so you know what I'm saying. I guess the week of come that Monday, the 12th,
and I'll let you know.
Yeah. Damn, dog. All right, man. Well, with that being said, man, it's been a while since we've been on the pod, man. A lot of shit has happened. Did you see the Marvin Sapp shit?
Oh, close the doors?
Yeah, just kind of, yeah. I figure we at least kick it off with that, man.
I don't look, this is what I'm gonna say. I don't really have this grandiose thought about it. I feel like that's kind of what it is anyways in church. I don't think he was really holding anybody against their will. If you wanted to leave. Well,
no, not actually holding people against their will.
If you wanted to leave, cool. But if I'm be honest, like I'm used to that when it comes to churches.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? Bring the plate back around. You know what I'm saying? Just talk about money for about a good 10, 15 minutes. That's kind of what I feel like it was.
Okay. I guess I would say that here's my thought. Because I have two thought processes running through my mind as these things occur. One, do they not tell anybody this plan? And if they do tell people this plan, is there not one person that says, hey, man, I don't really know if that's a good idea?
I definitely think this pastor be doing shit off the whim.
Okay.
I feel like he might have a,
because he had to say that like 5 times. He had to tell him to close the door.
His wife maybe knew, but I don't think people in church are probably like, oh, this dude tripping.
Bro,
he was like, hey, Brother Marshall, lock the door.
Bro, he had to tell him like 5 times.
Brother Johnson, lock the door.
Lock the door. Oh no, he said close the door. Close the doors.
Yeah. Close it. Nobody leaves. 1,000 people in here, 1,000 people online.
Yeah.
Everybody give $20. That's $40,000 that we can get.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's $40,000. Like, come on, let's do it. I need everybody.
Yeah.
If you doing it at Cash App, I need you to come up here and show me that you
that you cashed that. I need that confirmation.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Here's the thing, man. I think. Here's what I think. I understand the sentiment now, because at this point, this is a foregone conclusion that this is what they be doing. But I don't understand how it has not seeped into their minds that, bro, you could just be real. Because a very simple, we
need $40,000.
Listen, here's the thing. Because I'm gonna reenact it. All right, here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna reenact what Marvin Sapp should have did. Church. Here's the thing. in order to get done what we need to get done, to do the Lord's mission, to do the Lord's work, we need money. I hate that it got to be that way, but unfortunately, that's the currency we need in order to make it happen. In our world, money is a tool, and we need the tools necessary in order to get the job done. So here's the thing. I got 1,000 people online. I got 1,000 people here. If we can get everyone to get $20, you know what I'm saying? We can raise $40,000 right here. If you ain't got it, understand. Give what you can. If you can't give anything, I understand that as well.
And if you can't give anything, people, trust on your brothers and your sisters to maybe
to make up the difference.
Make up the difference, so on and so forth.
Those that can give more, give a little more.
$20, 20 minutes. I'm gonna sit up here for the next 20 minutes, and I want to, let's,
It don't take 20 minutes.
But I'm just saying, if that's what it's going to be,
you can just say 10.
You can do a little sermon.
Yeah, 10.
You can do a little 20-minute sermon.
Yeah, 10.
Talk about,
We're gonna have the choir sing.
Yeah,
we're gonna throw some tunes.
If you just wanted to break some things off real quick, that'd be a great way to do it.
Yeah,
that'd be a great way to do it.
I just
20 for 20. I got you.
I can't. Okay, all right. I can see that 20 for 20. Okay, yeah. Turn it into like a little theme. I'm beyond. I'm in disbelief now because you would think that people would have learned their lesson from other pastors. You get what I'm saying? But to a certain
what
extent,
it shows me though?
I don't know if the sensationalism is what they're going for now.
Do you know what it shows me? What it shows me is that if you have 1,000 followers online and over 1,000 people in your pews, and you're somehow needing $40,000, something's going on. There's mismanagement somewhere, and that's my opinion.
Well, it just depends on. Well, I can't say that because it depends on what they're trying to do.
Yeah, but see, if it was a roof that needed fixing, because of a storm, he would have led with that.
Yeah,
he would have led with that. That would have been, mind you, this has happened about 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
That would have been something that would have came out by now as like a response to how everything has gone. Nah, bro, this was definitely a situation which I feel like there's a lot of situations when it comes to these churches that money for some reason does not work the way that it should work, and you're not getting taxed.
Well, actually, not to cut you off, but I think you're touching on something important here, which is we are kind of in the era of transparency. You get what I'm saying? Like, people want to know where their dollars are going.
Yeah,
like, even
man.
when they come to church, like the whole, just give me your money and like don't worry about it. I don't know if that really fly with us anymore.
It doesn't fly with a lot of people.
Yeah, I don't know.
That goes hand in hand with our taxes. A lot of people are having problems with how our tax money is being used.
Oh, that's that's always
things of that
issue.
nature.
Yeah.
We need to know how our dollars are trickling down and where they're trickling down to.
For sure.
And I just find it hard to believe that on a random Thursday you need $40,000 right now, and we're literally telling people to close the doors, and people online, if possibly, do not log off or end until you send and I need to see the receipt. Yeah, that's what's crazy, that we're at a point where it's like I need to see the receipt, when you should be able to have a good line of communication with your with your followers, and like, hey, this is what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, just tell it what it's about. Yeah,
if we need to sit here for a budget meeting, but we need to raise $40,000 today. That's the goal for today. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to take the next 10, 20 minutes. We're going to do some praise and worship. I'm going to do some talking. I'm going to let you guys know. But please, during this time, let's take it seriously. You know what I'm saying? And you say several reminders, maybe every 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying? We're getting close. Keep people updates. Make it kind of like a drive, like one of them little drives or whatever, where you're just trying to get to this goal. But I don't know, man. That's just
listen, man. I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying. I can't speculate on what the money was for. Although, misappropriation of funds happens in every entity. So like it would not shock me that the money ain't being spent correctly here. Or being used inappropriately in some manner. But like I said, all of that, that's on the back end. We talking literally on the front end of this is, dog, just be real about what the money is for, and like just be authentic and tell people and talk to people, man. Like this whole being extra and hey, close the doors, like, yo, hey,
it's a lot.
Dog, like
it's a lot.
And that kind of touches on something else, as we segue into another topic is I had a conversation with some homies about this few weeks ago, man. I don't know how, you're first generation Nigerian American, but in especially like in black culture, I don't know what it is, but like my uncles got to like an age and they just became obnoxious and ignorant as shit. Like just say absolutely just the dumb, like dog, I swear to God, like half the time I don't even want to be around these niggas, man. Like I just like I literally got about an hour worth of time, and then it's how like, yo, y'all don't know half of the shit y'all talking about. Like just be quiet. Like is and like they just loud and ignorant and obnoxious just all the time. Dog. I got like one uncle.
To be honest with you, I feel like a lot of them just be speaking talking points.
No, they just be dog. And like I don't know if you just get to like an age. Like I'm praying that like I don't become that nigga. I feel like
probably will naturally happen.
No,
it's probably naturally.
I'm gonna make a concerted.
Unless you stay.
I'm gonna make an active effort to not turn into them niggas.
Unless you stay. You know what I'm saying, ears to the ground, and you go with the trends and with the times as things move, you know what I'm saying? But I think it will naturally happen. I don't know. But I don't know. Sapp was tripping, dog. Like
no, I just think it's the uncle in that nigga who just came out and just want, like, I'm just saying the way he handled it. You get what I'm saying? Because obviously you could ask for money in any type of manner.
I feel like I need members of the church to do some type of reaction or like.
I can't say that's normal. That shit ain't never happened at the church I attend.
No, I know, but I'm saying like normal within his church. You know, sometimes like, this goes trending, but it's like, what if this is kind of how he's been moving for a while? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? This is nothing.
Yeah, because I was gonna say if it's on that,
he does this every quarter. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I wish we kind of knew that information because it kind of seemed like he was comfortable doing it. It didn't seem like this was a shocker. Like.
Well, you know, the more comfortable you are in your place, the although it could have been a gradual thing, like in a
bro, I need somebody to be like, hey, 2 months ago,
like, put chains on it.
Yeah, he put chains on these motherfuckers, dog. You know what I'm saying? He put boots on our car, like
like dead ass.
Yeah, he
had armed guards out the.
Yeah, he closed the gates to the parking lot. We couldn't get out the parking lot.
Put up the spikes, bro. Like you couldn't drive out there.
Last year, he was calling people by name, talking about we didn't get your $100. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's what I'm saying. I need to know: is this a norm? Is this an outlier? Like, what we dealing with?
So, plot twist: if it is the norm, is it more or less likely that this was nefarious?
Then it's a cult. Am I tripping? Hey, my bad.
If you keep going back,
my bad,
and a motherfucker's locking you in, though.
I don't want to offend nobody. It's a cult. It sound like a cult. I can't leave, nigga?
Because you can find a pastor anywhere.
You said it was free. You said come as you are. Then you telling me I gotta drop $40 to get up out of here?
That ass.
Yo,
it's a fee to get out. Yeah, it's an exit fee.
I can't even. You talking about I can't give you cash? Like I need to hit I want the newsletters before.
Yeah, it's an exit fee, dog.
Man, get out of here, man.
Okay, all right, man. Listen, pastors, just do a better job of communicating. You know what I'm saying? Sentiments.
Start a GoFundMe, though.
Can you? Church probably start a GoFundMe.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, I mean, just start a fund on the church's website and explain what it's for.
Yeah.
Period. All right, man. Let's roll into these tariffs, man. That was like been a hot topic for like the last 2 weeks.
Speaking of money, yeah, man. China not playing.
Yeah. Why would they?
Look, China. I don't know if you saw what came out today. I don't know when this was. I was just kind of like reading up on some things on Instagram, and one of these Chinese higher ups or government officials was like they're willing to take this to the end.
No,
you know what I'm saying? And they were like the U.S. that they were here 5,000 years before the 5,000 years before the U.S. was here, and they could plan on being here for another 5,000 years.
Yeah,
they were like, yeah, we're willing to take this to the end and past it, pretty much. Like they were like, what about the 12% economy that you're going to lose? He started laughing. The nigga started laughing, bro. Like, bro, this is
you can always find another buyer, dog.
Even if. But it sounds like these niggas don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
dog. Like
somebody talked about how
depression, cool, no problem. Yeah, we'll go through that.
Hold on, what? There was one person who commented that was all like, China went through like a 52-year starvation. Like they built different,
bro.
They built,
bro. This dude,
different.
This dude, like when she said it, she was like, yeah, but it's almost impossible for you to go through it. Like before she asked the question, like it was obviously a leading question, and she sounded like she was British. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So this is probably like on the UK or something like that. Yeah. Dog, she finished. She went on like a little 15, 20-second soliloquy before she asked her question.
Yeah.
This nigga started laughing.
That's wild,
bro.
That's wild.
Laughing and like
I think I saw a piece of what you're talking about. Like it was just a face camera.
Yes,
and it was
bro.
saying on, yeah, homie, yeah.
Bro, dude,
I didn't watch the whole
she
thing.
was like
but
in
I
this
seen,
whole kind of studio. And
yeah,
he
I
was,
never,
like, on the right
I never saw her. I was just like scrolling through Instagram,
Bro,
but I seen kind of what you're talking about.
This nigga was laughing, talking about like, yeah, you know, and that's when he went on and said, yeah, you know, we've been here for 5,000 years.
Yeah, light work.
We were here before the U.S. was even in existence.
Yeah.
We will be here after, you know, for 5,000 more years.
Damn.
This is not, you know, this is nothing. Mm-hmm. Pretty much like, okay, this is nothing. We're willing to do this. And matter of fact, we were ready for something like this, and we're ready to go through this till the end.
Yeah.
Like, my nigga, we'll do this.
Yeah.
I don't know what the U.S. what they thinking, and if I'm gonna be honest, the Republican Party, if the Democrats fuck this up,
oh man,
look, bro, and because you know, at this point, there's nothing we can do.
I mean,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we just gotta accept it.
So we can. Only thing we can do is like look into what we can do in the next year and a half when we get to vote again, and that's just for more local type shit before we get into the federal government.
But you can still flip some seats.
Might.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is this that
which usually is what happens.
Yeah, but bro, we sitting up here and it's like if the Democrats aren't able to be on one message, you know what I'm saying, on one message, and I don't know. I hope they're putting it together. Maybe they're just sitting back like, hey, let them fuck it up, and then we'll come in and we will, you know what I'm saying, hey, we told y'all. You know what I'm saying? Type thing. I don't know, whatever, but if they fuck this up, this is like being up 28 going into the fourth quarter. Yeah. And you getting the ball. And you got the ball in field goal range. If they fuck this up,
here's what I think the problem is one, I be getting on Twitter too much, and Twitter has just basically become a right-wing echo chamber. So
it's too much. I don't watch the news because it's gonna peep through. It's gonna see through your.
So the problem is I can't really get a good sentiment on how the public at large is feeling, right? And the problem with using social media is you're not gonna get a real good sentiment of the public at large anyway, right? It's kind of just whatever is tuned into your feed. But I will say this. Some of these people are absolutely I don't want to use the term brainwashed, but I just think that like they doubling down on their pick. You know what I'm saying? And just
some, but I do think there's a lot of people that are definitely detaching themselves.
I'm just saying I'm not seeing it in the social circles. That's all I'm saying. It's just it a lot of people are pivoting like, oh yeah, well we kind of voted for this, but some people are also, this shit kind of sucks, but you know it was better than other option. Like a lot of them is still on that train.
No
you
problem.
know what I'm saying?
But you have to realize they haven't really felt it yet. They're not going to feel it.
I feel
they're not going to. Everything that they're talking about right now, what we're seeing on television with these tariffs, nobody's really felt it yet.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Yeah.
Nobody has felt it yet. Whatever goods or services that you are currently have, that's just what is already in, you know what I'm saying, in the warehouses. Yeah. So on and so forth. You saw Apple go and take 2 planefuls of iPhones. 5 planefuls of iPhones because they like, hey, we are not trying to get hit with a 30-40% markup that it's probably going to take. They're already predicting an 18% markup on their shit.
Well, which is crazy because, you know, now recent developments as of earlier this week or late last week, Donald Trump excluded microchips, computers, smartphones, and other shit from the China tariffs. So like that shit won't even be affected now. Yeah.
Okay, so it sounds like he's trying to like.
Well, here's what happened.
It's like he's just doing this shit for headlines.
Well, here's what we're gonna do. Okay, because I don't want to speculate on like bigger plot points and different things like that, or to try to, you know, decipher what's going on here. I just want to talk about what's happening at hand. And this was a colossal failure on every level, no matter how you want to look at it. From the again, I am starting to question. I'm just being honest, man, because at this point, like, it has to be questioned. I don't know if this motherfucker actually fully understood how tariffs work. If like people actually explained it to him, dog.
I think he does. There's no. And
dog,
again, we're look. You know what's crazy? Hold on. Crazy is that we're speculating.
But before you do that,
go ahead.
Dog, this man was in a press conference later that day after he dropped the whole, what was it, Liberation Day or whatever. The very next day, he's not a press conference, but he's at like a what's the shit where people go and have have like a dinner or banquet or whatever. He was at some shit like that, and he was all like, I hate when people say that like the tariffs are gonna add cost to consumers. They're not, you know, like, bro, there's no way he could say that. There's like, I'm saying there is trying to mitigate, you know what I'm saying, expectations, and saying like, hey, listen, this shit's gonna suck for a while, because as far as I've been able to tell, Donald Trump a straight shooter. He don't really care how you feel about it. He gonna tell you how it is, and then, you know, he's gonna say, hey, yo, this shit's gonna suck. He's been talking about a recession here lately. He's saying, hey, I can't rule out a recession, but you know what I'm saying, it's things.
Which means it's happening. If he's not gonna rule it out, that means it's happening.
So I'm saying, right, like if you're gonna sit there in an interview and say, hey, I can't rule out a recession, and that, you know what I'm saying, like things might get worse before they get better, and then you sit up here and pretend like tariffs are not going to add cost to consumers, I just have to believe that like you're just that disillusioned to the situation. It's just hard for me to believe that he could have, in the same day I saw an interview, well, not the same day, it was earlier that week or the week before, I see an interview where like he's being pretty straightforward about a recession being a real possibility here because of how bad things have gotten.
See, that's okay.
And then pretend like recession,
what's dangerous?
Tariffs don't do anything.
You know what's dangerous, and what's tough is that we're having a conversation that our president of the United States may not understand we're feeling like may he or may he not understand tariffs. That to me is where we're getting into like dangerous territory. And this dangerous territory, and this is me not even putting my tinfoil hat, but just kind of laying out the facts of what is going on amidst this tariff situation. When you see that Facebook is rescinding their fact checking department or the shit that they're doing, that means that social media is almost like we're going into the gulag when it comes to this. We're just throwing information into this platform, and everybody's just talking, and things that I'm not on Twitter, I'm not on Facebook, but I can only imagine that if you're talking about like it just seems like a right wing, you know what I'm saying, platform, that's kind of what it's turned into. I can understand when there's no fact checking and that people are going to be delusional. But I will tell you that it's hard for me to believe that he specifically is delusional, because I know one thing I can tell you about our president, that he watches television. He watches CNN, MSNBC, Fox News. He may not read shit, but he is watching it. And there's no way that if I can get the glimpse that I'm of 20 minutes, 30 minutes at a client's house while working on them, that I'm getting MSNBC talking about how tariffs are going to come back to the consumer, is going to make cost of goods go up because they're going to have to be spending more. And if they're going to be spending more to get their goods inside of a country or outside of a country, then obviously the consumer, that they're going to just take that cost and place it upon the good or the service, and the consumer is going to have to be able to afford that if they want said good or service. He knows that. For you to be saying that they're going to be excluding things like microchips and cell phones and so on and so forth means that he knows the concept. You cannot tell me that you're excluding shit that you know that is going to be very expensive for a great deal of people, but then you're also saying out of your same breath that it's not going to up the charge on the consumer. He understands it, but the guy creates chaos, and this is part of the reason why I said that originally, that man, I wouldn't mind having Trump again, because I feel like the Democratic Party is taking us for granted. And why I decided I rescinded that and saying like, nah, I can't vote for him, is because when Buddy went and shot at him, I knew that this is just a guy who creates chaos. This tariff shit is chaos. It doesn't make any sense. You got into a whole like duel with a country who literally supplies the world. They supply the world. Yeah. The world, whatever shirt you're wearing, your socks, your toothpaste, your toothbrush, your hair products, the plastics that are being used. The things that are coming out of China, you don't even want to start marking them, even if it says made in China or not. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? They supply the world, and this is who you decide to get into a fight with.
And did you see how they even determined what tariffs they were going to be placed on every country?
I don't even know.
Y'all, let me give you the lunacy here. The tariffs the reciprocal tariffs that they put on all the countries, because they did every single country that we pretty much had a trade deficit with. They ain't even do like, okay, y'all charging us these tariffs, so we gonna hit y'all with this. They took the trade deficit, meaning that the difference between what we export and import between the two countries, they took that difference and then they divided it by 2 and then said that that's going to be the percentage of tariffs that we're going to place on these countries. And quite literally, because I was watching somebody break this down, the countries with the highest tariffs were the poorest countries in the world, which obviously export more to us than we do to them because they can't afford to get our goods.
Yeah.
So like on top of the fact that like this was just a massive like failure of understanding like or trying to figure out what was going to happen, you also was trying to punish the most poorest countries in the world. And to make matters even worse, there was this phenomenon during like the early 80s and late 90s where countries actually inflated their currencies and devalued their own monetary systems just so that way the labor would become cheaper to get American factories to come there. So it's like, to me, it's the liking to, I don't know if you remember a few years ago when OnlyFans was going to like start banning like, you know what I'm saying, like all the sex workers and everything from the website because they kind of wanted to go. To me, I'm just saying, this feels kind of the same way.
I remember that, but guess what? They didn't do it.
How do you turn your back on the niggas who built your platform? Homie is now a billionaire because of these people.
They wanted to make it seem like there was legit. Look, let me tell you something. Nah, bro.
Bro, what?
You got lucky.
You think
you got blessed. COVID happened, and there were women out there who just like, man, I'm gonna be at home. Let me just show some skin and OnlyFans. OF. It was low key perfect.
Do you think you gonna get the same traffic for people coming on here to watch singers sing?
Come on, man.
Do
you know how many platforms wish that they were the platform that?
Bro, I swear to count your blessings. No, sell it if it goes against what you believe in.
Yeah, sell it.
Take your M's or B's, you know what I'm saying, and then go try something else.
100 plus M's. Take it.
Get the fuck out of here. But anyway, getting back to what we're talking about. Yeah, man, I'm with you. The tariff situation, because again, like I said, I didn't want to speculate. Although again, I still think that I don't know if he fully understands. But I will say that my issue is just, and this alluded to like when we were talking about doing
I refuse to believe that Buddy's that dumb, and I know I just kind of broke it down, but I think he understands. He just, bro, he don't care, bro. This is. Let me be honest with y'all. This is what happens when you put somebody who is a great manipulator, a true definition of a narcissist, and I hate using that word a lot, but a true definition of a narcissist that feels like they are the only ones and what they say goes and they are almost God-like. You know what I'm saying? But this is what happens when you give them this kind of power. But
to your point though, But to my point, is he so much of a narcissist that he believes that whatever he's trying to do with these tariffs is going to work? That he's going to get American manufacturers to come back and start building here.
I'm gonna tell you what I really think, and I don't know if this is like podcast, whatever, because this is kind of tinfoil hat kind of deal. And I want to stay, true to the facts. But I really think that he's just trying to make America into a chaotic situation where he can put us through a state of emergency and he don't got to leave office. That's what I think. I think that he wants to. When you see what happens in Pennsylvania with the governor, where they went and took the Molotovs and threw them to the buddy's house and all of that. You know what I'm saying? You got to realize that like this is just the beginning. This is just a right winger, it sounds like, who just, went to a governor's mansion and like try to set it on fire with his family and friends inside. Yeah. And at night. Crazy. You know what I'm saying? On a Jewish holiday or close to a Jewish holiday. It's just like, dog, we're only 3 months in. It's April. Buddy got in February. Damn near. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to realize. I don't know, man. I think dude is really trying to put us through some hard times, put us in emotional, disarray, and is gonna put us through a state of emergency. But I know that sounds kind of crazy, tinfoil hat, but
well. I can never go that far because my brain doesn't run that far. I always believe that I'm more on the lines of niggas just want to crash the market so billionaires could pick up some M's. So
I think the market is about to go through even worse. Yeah. Do you feel like the market we're recovered? Recovered, like we're not going to go as low as we were. Do you feel like
it bounced back up? But I mean, they're about to turn the money printer back on, so it has no choice but to go back up. I mean, that's just where the money flows.
So you don't think we're going to go any lower than we?
No, like we won't go any lower unless the economy really starts to feel the effect of these tariffs.
But you don't think that's going to happen?
I feel like they'll figure it out. I mean, because I was getting to this point, but I also think that Donald Trump loves to be worshipped. like once shit really start getting expensive, his people gonna get on his ass. You know what I'm saying? These little poor white people dealing with the same shit.
That's why I think the market is going to go through some more turmoil.
I can't decide. I mean, like if we continue on this direction, if we still well into these tariffs from China, well into June, July, August, yeah.
I just don't see China. I'm like this. I just don't see China being one of them countries that's going to try to save face for Donald Trump. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't see them, even if it's like a semi-bend the knee for the greater good, like somehow these other countries may do so. I feel like China, and this is why I think it's so for real. I think that they are going to take this as far as America's wanting to go. This is almost you you're giving them the stage that they want. They want to go toe-to-toe with you globally. They want to play chicken with you globally. They want the world stage to know like they them ones.
Yeah, but
you know what I'm saying?
I'm not even saying China is going to bend. Well, I think China and America is just gonna hash that shit out. Because at the end of the day, money is all that matter, bro. Like we pretend like America and China hate each other. But I feel
like for America, money is all that matters. I feel like for China, a lot of it is like just respect. So you know what I'm saying?
Maybe America gets on it, but listen, I'm also of the mindset that
Trump just not the person to do it, and that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're talking about somebody who's willing to who will like be diligent and all right, let's come to common ground. Let's meet each other somewhere in the middle. Even you know what I'm saying. Trump is not that guy. You know what I'm saying. He is chaotic, bro. Like this.
But he already backed off the tariffs, though. He already listen. Did you know actually what made them rescind the tariffs was the fact that like countries started dumping U.S. bonds. They started coming back. They started trying to turn into bonds to get their money back. That's what killed the reciprocal tariff thing.
Okay.
So I'm saying like that's what killed it. Like when all the dust settled and all this shit was, you know what I'm saying, came to an head, although we still on the China shit, what happened at the end of the day was like boys was coming for, okay, y'all want to play this game, all right, bet, run me my coins.
Give my money back.
You know what I'm saying? Like we'll bankrupt your ass.
I want no
you know what I'm saying? And immediately that nigga cut that shit off the very next day. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I can't tell you where it's going to go, but I can tell you that at the end of the day, I do not think that he wants to be responsible for a Great Depression like event. Although I don't think I think it's going to happen soon or eventually, dog. It's some scary times here. And to be honest with you, America was always on a path to that shit.
Man, I think I'm about to like go 100 head on and like trying to pay off my house ASAP because I just in times like this it just makes me feel like own all your shit so you ain't gotta like feel like anything you know what I'm saying, market go belly up like now banks may try to like hold you, they might have some like you know what I'm saying, little writing in the contract, make it seem like I need all my money right now. Like I don't want to deal with none of that. Like let me just
I will say this. The reality is like, like when the Great Depression, if we have another major event like that, right? You can't kick everybody out the house. I mean, so the reality is that some shit's gonna have to shake, some shit's gonna have to give. But we've lived in a very prosperous time, the most prosperous time in human history, dog. Like it's bound to happen. It's bound to be reset to a certain level because the market's just never really. I mean, 2008 was like the last full like sort of like reset, and the reality is that they've printed too much money again. Like we're just feeling the effects now of the super overprinting. But again, I don't know what the solution is. That's the unfortunate part, right? I can't sit on here and tell people like what you should do, or I can't even say what Donald Trump should have did. But like it didn't take an economic degree from Cambridge University to tell you that tariffs is a bad thing. It's a tax passed on to the consumer. So like if I sell parts for a living, okay, if I buy a part for $100, I'm selling it for $170. If that motherfucker go to $120, I still mark it up 70%. Like my gross profit margin doesn't change. I still need to sell it at a certain percentage to make a certain margin on it. So the reality is that's the way tariffs work. And I don't know. At the end of the day, it just still kind of feels like he don't fully understand the situation. I think that he's blocked all the noise and thinks that like I'm going to bring manufacturing back to America and make America great again by any means necessary, and we're going to be the number one exporter in the world, which we're already the number two exporter in the world, which is the craziest part about all of this shit.
Yeah.
Is that like we're the second largest exporter in the world. So it's not even like damn, somebody got to be number two, bro. You can't be both the largest importer and exporter. That's some crazy shit. You can't be the ruler of all. Like the dollar controls everything, and then tell niggas we gotta also buy your shit at that price. Like it's just not how shit works, man. So but you can't tell certain people that. Certain people just believe, you know what I'm saying, they gonna will shit to happen. And I think that's kind of where we're at that point. And I think that it's up to what we have to pray for is that the people on his side eventually start applying pressure now. He ain't gonna give a fuck about us. Like we ain't gonna get through them.
What we need to pray for is that the Democratic Party can just capitalize on this whole situation. You know what I'm saying? And come out here and look like they got a unified party on some topics that will really help America and garner our trust. Because this shit is ridiculous. I don't see how we got here. I don't see how we got here as a country. And respectfully, you can't get Donald Trump is just an idea. He's a concept. He's all of that. Where it really lies is we need the people that we trust to like do their fucking job. That's just the reality. Do your job. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? We don't want them there. Do your fucking job. Stop taking people for granted. Stop trying to be too complex. Yeah. Simplify this shit and let's go to work. If we need to go through some troubling times, don't lie to niggas. Just say, hey, the next 4 years, the next 8 years, we're gonna tighten up. Everybody, but, you know what I'm saying? Okay. Like, but I don't know what it looks like.
No,
but I think if you talk to people without like the fugazi shit, I think you can get a lot further.
I hear you, but part of me believes that like, and I'm saying, man, I really hate to like get this nigga any credit, but I feel like this is why I am so fixated on like Donald Trump thinking these tariffs things is just this ultimate plan and like blocking out economists and like probably anybody like in his regime and motherfuckers just being yes man is because like when Donald Trump does an interview, it seems like he's being real and authentic about where things are. But like when it comes to these tariff shit, dog, like it's like he just doesn't want to hear anything anybody else has to say about it.
That's why I think he's doing it purposely.
Okay.
I don't, you know what I'm saying? But I might be tripping, bro. I don't know.
It's just crazy to me that like in one interview, like he sound like a sensible person, dog. Like, and I'm saying,
and then behind the scenes, it's just like,
what I'm saying, and then the next, it just feels like he's just so set on like trying to get manufacturing back to America that like nothing anybody else has to say regarding these tariffs matter, and it just feels like a man fixated on like I made a promise and like I'm a stick to that shit, and like he just doesn't want to hear nothing else anybody has to say. But also it could be entirely that this man is trying to do some Napoleon Bonaparte type shit and or take over Rome and shit. I don't know, man. Okay. All right.
We're done, right?
Yeah, we're done.
I was gonna say, hey, look, Houston Rockets are playing right now. No, they're not. Warriors, Grizzlies are playing right now. Mm-hmm. Man, I'm not gonna lie. I think Houston might take it this year.
Yo, hey, it's looking good.
I'm not gonna say they're gonna win it all because I'm still gonna, I'm still gonna ride for the Celtics. But I think Houston.
The defense is real, man.
Yeah,
hey,
bro.
Shout out to Emmanuel, dog.
Thank you.
Hey.
Shout out to
my guy. Listen, when you good at what you do, you are good at what you do.
And I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna stand on this. I don't care. I don't think he should have been let go for the Celtics. Like what he did, I guess was wrong. But they're consenting adults. Like
he was terminated because of the issue that it would have been. I think with.
It was your boss's wife. That's crazy. That is what, bro. Yeah,
that
bro. But I'm not gonna lie.
So like,
I'm not gonna lie. That's wild. That's wild.
I don't think that's why I'm saying right.
Like that dynamic, you got to get him up out of there.
I don't think he got terminated because of that, really, right? Because you ain't firing him at your dog. Like especially like when he took you to the finals. So I don't think you fired that guy. But
I think Houston might got themselves a situation.
I do think you terminate a motherfucker who your boss wants to punch in the face every day. If I'm the owner and the dude that's running my team wants to like not hit him in the face. I can't have him fighting, dog. Yeah. So
and they won a championship, so it's a dub.
Yeah, bro.
And your team is solid, so it's a dub.
Yeah, and on top of that, he the one that built the motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like Mayodoga, I mean, I got it, he took over, but these niggas here because of him. So in terms of like who I need.
Wait, was it Buddy's it wasn't the buddy that used to be a head coach.
Nah, it wasn't.
Okay, because if it was him, bro, you an asshole.
No.
That's just a nice guy.
Yeah, Brad is that dude. I don't know his last name. I know his first name, Brad. He just seems like a really nice, genuine person.
Yeah, like just love basketball.
But you know, man, when your lawyers get to talking to you and you ignorant as shit, you don't give a damn, bro.
Ime is a nigga though. Ime a nigga.
Dog, he is.
He's a nigga.
Dog, he is, bro. He's a nigga, like dead ass, like just like a big kid, dog. Like
that boy threw away his whole family for that. That's crazy.
Crazy work.
But
you never think you're gonna get caught.
Yeah, he didn't.
You never think you're gonna get caught. Okay, all right. But, moving on to our next topic. This shit is a doozy, man. I just took a screenshot of it because I seen it on WorldStar. So let me get it pulled up here.
Oh shit.
I mean, it's not something hellacious. It says that over 60% of Coachella fans reportedly use payment plans to pay for tickets. It says, according to reports, over 60% of Coachella attendees use payment plans to manage rising costs. With general admission tickets over $600, fans can secure entry with as little as $50 down as organizers shift marketing to highlight affordability over the festival's experience. To piggyback on that, a few weeks ago, did you see the Klarna and DoorDash shit? So DoorDash and Klarna, yeah, bro. DoorDash and Klarna set a
people's credit. You know what's crazy? We are gonna go through a depression. We are gonna go through a depression. Hey, people's credits about to go to shit.
Hey, let me tell you something, dog. Y'all know I hate being preachy, but you are wild. If you buy now, pay later for a fucking DoorDash order, my guy, I'm not gonna lie to you.
It's not funny, dog.
We have lost all sense of responsibility.
The government needs to get involved. And I know you think I'm tripping. No. I'm gonna tell you why. Bro. This is almost like it's almost like the dollar loans. What's the dollar payday loans and shit?
Yeah.
It's like, dog, if you're getting into if you can't afford DoorDash to the point where you got to get on a payment plan for it, you're never gonna get out of it.
Okay, but
you got a problem. You know, and like this is me being for real. This is not me.
No, I hear.
Not me judging. This ain't me trying to be dramatic.
I hear you. None of that. But before you go forward though, I do want to say that I read an article. And
it's predatory.
It to a certain extent.
It's predatory.
But also, Klarna has a 96% repayment rate. So like,
it's predatory, bro.
It's not. The people aren't failing to pay it back.
All because you're repaying it does not mean that like you're not out of a hole. You could be literally digging yourself in a hole that's not going anywhere. You get what I'm saying? Like if we're getting habitual to the point where we don't even have the money for the ramen that I want to order.
Yeah, I got you, but you got to understand
I just want that ramen so bad, and that Klarna is now gonna make $5 to $10 off of that ramen on top of the ramen, on top of the delivery fee, on top of like, dog, we doubling and a half our food. Like, dog, come on, food. Man. Like,
listen.
We gotta chill.
I'm not disagreeing. We
gotta chill. But let me stop. I don't want to get on no soapbox today. So
listen. I'm not disagreeing. I'm just saying.
You know what? Y'all do what the fuck y'all want to do.
Listen, I'm not.
Y'all do what y'all. I apologize.
I'm not disagreeing. I'm just merely saying that I believe that if we're going to take the route that you're going to take, that the government should set standards for Klarna's risk management. You get what I'm saying? So, like, not that, they should say, oh, well, this can't be done. But, hey, we need to assess your risk management and make sure that you're not loaning money and taking money from banks, because Klarna is just like any place. You got either investment rounds and people invest in the Klarna. That these people investments are protected and it's sound. Constant check-ins with the SEC. That's how you can manage it.
I hate us. I hate us so much.
I don't think the government should be involved.
Much. And the thing is, I'm saying this just because in reality I really do love us, but I just hate the fact that this is the kind of people that we are. You think China got this problem? You know what I'm saying? Like, we really sitting up here putting our mind you, DoorDash is a fucking problem. It's already a problem. It's already you lazy people get your ass up and at a minimum go get your food because it's cheaper.
It is a bona fide business that employs people. So
okay, but not everybody should be using it. That's what I'm saying.
I got you.
Look.
We get to these points again. Now, listen, I'm not.
And look, that's why I'm saying. Like, I don't even want to do it. You're right.
I got you, but I'm
you're
saying,
right.
listen. I'm saying if you build a product because hear me out here for a second. Because when you understand that in business in general, dog, if you build a product that is profitable and convenient and useful to people gonna use it. So
do you want to know why? Do you want to know I have a problem with it? The people that are probably going to be putting their food on payment plans aren't the people that like, you know what I'm saying, I go and like work for and things of that nature.
Nobody
like,
should ever.
Completely different. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you're having to put those items on a payment plan, I genuinely just feel like you're already probably living paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just realistically, that's just kind of where you are. You know what I'm saying? You're already living paycheck to paycheck. And you've gotten so comfortable living paycheck to paycheck that you're squeezing dollars, future dollars that you don't even have currently to keep it going just for 1 meal, 2 meals. And if you get comfortable doing that once a month, then it's nothing for you to do it twice a month.
Yeah.
There's nothing for you to do it on the weekends. There's nothing for you to do it, you know what I'm saying? And you just constantly cycling where your account never get out. You know what I'm saying? It's just, even if you're doing a 97% and you're paying it all back,
yeah,
you're killing. You're never getting ahead, and you're now creating a habit of that is just taking away even more out of your pockets.
That's true. But what's
free will?
What prevents them from doing that with credit cards? I mean,
you're 100% right. So that's why
there's always a credit card that'll give you one.
That's why I say free will. That's why I'm leaving it alone. I take it all back.
I'm just merely saying that, you know, hearing it, yeah, dog, it's crazy. Like, it's absolutely insane. Like, I even tried to think of a scenario where like maybe somebody like needed to like like host a function for like I'm just saying for like an uptick for like their business just to get like people in the door or something.
Then you need to go get sandwiches and make ham and cheese sandwiches and make them look good. If that's the case, I mean, like, dog, if you I hear your perspective. If you having to do that for a business function, even more of a problem.
But I'm saying, but you also know that in certain lines of work, right? Like you got.
I see what you're trying to do. I see what you're trying to.
I'm saying, but hear me. You let me finish, dog. I was even trying to think of a manner where it could be useful to somebody, and even still, I walk back because I'm like, no, but even still, man, I don't think at the end of the day it would be worth it, right? Just go buy some drinks, you know what I'm saying, serve some cookies and shit.
Exactly.
And you know what I'm saying, call it a day. So, I mean, I hear you. I'm not, again, man, the problem is that I never disagree with you, okay? I'm in agreement, okay? Like, I don't disagree with your perspective. The problem is in the delivery of it. So, I'm just saying, I get it. I'm wholeheartedly in agreement here with you. It's wild to me that like we've gotten to a point to where that we are having to set up a buy now, pay later system for food delivery. That in itself, if you 10 years ago, you would have never you would never think, no, what? Like, bro, you financing a fucking McDonald's order? That's crazy.
You know, when I was doing Uber Eats and I was like working from like 12 to like 3 in the morning sometimes, the orders that I would get would be like real petty orders, dog. And I'm talking like two $2 cheeseburgers from McDonald's and a fry.
Paying a $5 delivery fee.
And their delivery fee plus the $1 tip that they gave was more than the food.
That's crazy work.
That they ordered, dog.
That is crazy.
And it's one of them things where it's like, dog, how do y'all like... And I remember one time I went to a McDonald's and delivered it to an apartment complex right across the street. And those are the ones that I love. I love stuff like that when you get to like pick up and you got a place that's like 3 minutes,
like
quick minutes away because it's just like you automatically getting like $7-8 on a thing no matter what. You know what I'm saying? And I remember I did it and I was just like, I went and like, you know what I'm saying, to the door and knocked on it. And it was like kind of like an older person, maybe in their late 20s to maybe mid 30s. And in my mind, I'm like, yo, you couldn't fucking walk
like that
a block or two to go get this? You know what I'm saying? It's just crazy to me that this is how people like this is. But it's kind of why I don't want gambling in Texas, because I know. You know what I'm saying? I know what it could create.
Well, gambling ruins people's lives. Period. You know what I'm saying? Like gambling, fucking a lot of people.
And if I'm be honest, I just feel like this is part of like.
I think sports betting is the next like downfall of society.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, I got it. I'm so glad that I've like pulled back on my like gambling.
I told you what happened to me, right?
Nah.
I told you I won like $400 on Prize Picks.
Okay, good.
Yeah, so I had better
But
like
you know what's crazy? Stuff like that happens and it's good, but it's
Yeah.
also bad.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna tell you what happened. So walk you through the story. So, so before I had hit the 400, I want to say I probably bet about $50. You know what I'm saying? So, my homies they be wilding. They be doing like $20, $30 bets and shit. I hopped in that joker. I was all like, yeah, I'm gonna play these $5 and see what I hit for. You know what I'm saying? I was about $50 in, practically about to just banning this shit. Like, okay, I don't see how you niggas do this. Okay, I'm $50 in. I ain't won. You know, you win like $2 or something. But I was like, man, nigga, I ain't won shit. Nothing worth talking about. So played with some shit Friday night. Nigga hit for like 400. I was all like, oh yeah, all right. Boy, about to run these $5 bets till I make it to the top, my nigga. Dog, I probably blew about another.
Getting close on so many.
No, I probably blew about another 100, 150. We just gonna round it off to about 200. Man, I cashed out my little 225, whatever. Man, and said, "Fuck it, all right, I'm up." House money, I'm good, dog. So
I'm going to the casino this weekend.
And I ain't bet since.
I'm going to the casino this weekend.
Nigga, you crazy.
Actually, I'm going on Thursday.
Yeah, I think my homie was actually falling into addiction, but I think he backed out. But you know, niggas be up late at night doing shit, so I don't know. I got to check in on him. But yeah,
you know,
I think sports betting is the next one, dog. Like I'm saying, we always talking about like Klarna and DoorDash, but now I think sports betting is the thing. I think sports betting.
And I'm glad I got that shit out my system because it's like now I don't really be playing with money
because
like I used
now
to.
you got to bet money you actually have, and then fuck around and then start using credit cards to pay for shit you need to pay for.
Yeah,
that's where.
And you know, I'm already on this like no credit card debt, like you know, trying to get all this stuff cleared up. So
yeah.
For me, it's just like I'm not.
Yeah, so like that's the crazy part, bro. Because like,
but the Super Bowl,
boy said charge it.
The Super Bowl, no. What I'm saying is, bro, I won big.
Oh yeah,
on the Super Bowl. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So everything really house money right now.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Everything really house money. And I got a homeboy who like been trying to bet me and just was losing. He's told me $150. I'm hey, Jonathan, need my money.
Damn.
But
I hate all money.
Huh?
I hate all money, but I think that's what we allude to, right? So to kind of segue back into what we talked about the last time we was on the pod, it's just that it's not that I personally feel like, you know what I'm saying, like going back to like the whole Lizzo thing, it's not that I don't think that like sometimes these things don't need to be addressed. Obviously they need to be addressed, but what I'm saying is a lot of times I feel like we're focusing on things that ain't really like in terms of issues, you know what I'm saying, we not focusing on the real problems and the real root of things. And so like this is just another thing, right? Like we're talking about, don't get me wrong, I get it, Klarna and DoorDash is bad, but bro, sports betting is out here probably really fucking niggas' lives.
It's ruining people's lives.
You know what I'm saying? Like I get it, you know what I'm saying? Like of course, like we eating too much, we're consuming too much food, but also it's people out here who like, I'm seeing people every day getting sick who like ain't obese and overweight and the food is killing them. You know what I'm saying? Like it's so many things that like I think they're like, yo, I'm just saying, and I don't know if it's the social justice warrior in me, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if I've always been just the type of people to fight for people, but my thing is just like, dog, we need to start attacking problems and not people. You get what I'm saying?
No doubt.
Because like I get it. Like once we got the problems on the way, right, then I can hold people accountable.
You know, the first thing I said was I don't know if I need the government to get involved.
Huh?
You know what I'm saying? Because I just see that this is a problem.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong. If money's everything, if capitalism is everything, then cool. Like I can't be mad at you. You know what I'm saying? Like go ahead, do your thing. You know, prey on the poor, people who ain't really got it, who just want to make it seem like they got it for a day or two. Because these be the same ones that will post on their Instagram whatever meal that they just got DoorDash and put through Klarna.
It's not, but I'm saying it's not even. I think that the unfortunate part is where we've reached truly in a society, right? And this is the kind of
it's like we're addicts. And what you're doing is that you're just putting these drugs in front of us and making it seem like, oh my God, change. But you know what I'm saying? Like that's all like government. Like if you know that we got problems consuming shit, then stop the drugs from like stop marketing these drugs to us.
Hold on, the problem is here's the issue. Nobody consumes at the level that Americans consume at.
That's what I'm saying.
But hear me out. The problem is they need to make profits, dog. Like you got to understand that you have to get somebody to consume this. In order for America to be the richest nation in the world, somebody has to consume said materials. And this kind of, damn, it's crazy how we gone back to tariffs. But the crazy thing is that businesses decided, they decided long ago, the uppers, the bankers, whoever, they decided to become more efficient, right? Rather than being responsible for the production and all that, we would just be responsible for the distribution, right? We outsource this shit for cheap labor, bring it in, distribute it. It go through 4 or 5 networks. By the time you get it to the shelf, that shit been raised by 6-7 times the price, right? Therefore, it's always somebody getting business. There's a shipper, there's a buyer, there's a truck driver, there's a dispatcher, there's somebody at every level creating wealth, right? And so now we find ourselves in a situation where my cousin, he's real big into finance, far more. He's actually one of the few people who's actually passed the certified personal whatever shit where like you can actually manage people money, even beyond like what like CPAs do. He was talking about how like
put me through. What's up?
Yeah, I put you in touch. He really that nigga though.
Yeah, but I ain't got, you know what I'm saying? I don't got a lot of money to like give to him.
Yeah,
but he can help me get
I'm
there.
sure he can manage anything that you can spend. But with that being said, man, is he was talking about how like, me and him got into conversations, several times about, this Bitcoin debate. And even just not necessarily that, but like, let's say that we decided that we no longer want to expand the money supply, right? We're gonna tie it to any asset that is never, inflatable, it can only depreciate, whatever, right? You got to understand that so many things happen because of debt, right? Like understand that America was built off of debt. So like this entire system that we use, that we run on, is built off of the promise of being able to extend capital in some capacity, that technically doesn't exist, and allow you to build infrastructures that eventually create wealth. Well, the issue is we don't really have that here in America. Sure, we got manufacturers and people that build shit, but for the most part, 90% of what you look around this room ain't a goddamn thing made here. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That shit has all been distributed.
Outsourced.
It's more efficient, right? Like I ain't got to worry about raw materials. No, none of that. I just got to get on people, meet a deadline, get that shit over here to DCs, and then now we're distributing that shit. We built our economy to be that way. Well, here's the problem. Now money is getting tighter and tighter for the average American. The reality is to a certain extent, what you're saying is to alluding to what you're saying. Now there are certain predatory things occurring. This Klarna shit. It's predatory. It ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, I even try to think of a way it could be beneficial because I always try to think of the business aspect behind it, but it's just no way around it.
They know people can't afford it, but they want it.
Yeah, it's just no way around it. You've given people another avenue in order to try to spend money. Because I guarantee you DoorDash is hurting now. They're starting to see the effects. Like, although, you get on here, you rant about it, but I guarantee you they seeing less and less profits every month. You know what I'm saying? Because as money gets tighter, you cut back on shit. It's just the reality. Yeah. That's why I say, like, money will take care of shit. You know what I'm saying?
So DoorDash is like, hey, let's get into business with these people.
I'm saying, if you ain't got no money, you know what I'm saying? If I see that, hey, we was running 1 million orders a month, we only running 990,000 a month, right? We 10,000 short. Next month we running 975,000. The fuck is going on? People being squeezed, man. It's the reality. I guarantee you they're not selling the same TVs. All I'm saying is just that we have a real issue because. And this is why, damn, it's funny how all this shit ties together. Reason why I think Donald Trump is so fixated on it, because I think he's recognized the issue. The issue is the American economy. The way it's designed is not sustainable anymore. Not at the level that the money is inflated and how much shit costs. There's only 2 options.
So do you think that this could possibly be good for us?
I think that with anything, if you can bring back manufacturing and create jobs where we're exporting and now money's coming from that, sure. But it's how about how you do shit. You don't just hit niggas with fucking a gajillion tariffs to every fucking country and then be all like, oh yeah, y'all gotta do what the fuck we say. The fuck you think? Nigga, you ain't Al Capone, bro. Like this ain't no mafia like shit. Might. I'm just saying, like, the reality is, bro, in the real world, boys get clapped. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody you can't be mean forever, my nigga. Like, you can flex every now and then, but you can't attack the entire world, bro. You get what I'm saying? So, anyway, I understand the vision to a certain extent, but what I'm saying is here, the method and the application of how he's trying to do it is absolutely fucking stupid. Yeah. But I understand now that we can no longer consume. Like, it's not even just about the problems. Like, in America, it's just that monetarily it's not sustainable. You get what I'm saying? So we have to bring some level of manufacturing back to increase exports in order to have jobs that, you know, probably won't be here anymore. Because like, once AI get here, we gonna lose even more jobs.
We're done.
So you got to find a way to ship shit. So at the end of the day, dog, it's a lot of problems. A lot of this shit really, the problem is there's a lot of dots, and in some form or fashion, they all tie together. And at the end of the day, all that shit leads to a constant changing of trying to figure out like where the solution is. And I think that, you know, that's why I say I hate to give them any credit, but like, I don't know, dog. Like, after thinking about this long and hard, I understand it now. The problem that I have is just, dog, let's work with countries, you know what I'm saying, to create these things. Let's not just slap fucking gajillion tariffs on people and then say, yeah, y'all got to do that shit, which we know tariffs are attacks on us, you know, and quit pretending like it's not. So, you know, it is what it is. All right. How long we been on here? Oh, shit. We just about an hour. Okay. All right, y'all. With that being said, if you made it this far, we appreciate you for kicking with us. Make sure you like,
comment,
and subscribe. And as always, till next time, we out.